Okay, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Shabbos Kodesh, Parshas Va'era, Mitzvah Parsha, who's actually here in Israel. So yes, he's here. Welcome. Didn't see him yet, but we'll see him soon. So Parshas Va'era, so many topics, maybe the most loaded Parsha. Well, one of them, the Makos, El Shakai, getting on Mitzrayim, hardens Pharaoh's hearts, warnings, most of the Makos. It's just a crazy amount of stuff to talk about. There's one piece that always struck a chord with me for many years. What's the Dea? It's 10 Makos. Um, it's underrated, but we don't talk about this as much. Maybe the kids like it. Frogs, Seder, you have little plastic frogs, and everything's funny and cute. Frogs here, frogs there, all that chachma. Um, what's the gist? What's the situation? Ad kedei kach. Years ago, I was giving a small class in Fairfax, Virginia, at the Chabad. The rabbi wasn't there, and well, I'll do it. Chill. The Chumash class one night, I did it at Chumash class, and doing this Ramban, who breaks down the Tzachadash Bachav, and he breaks down that the first three is below the earth, three is the earth, and the later three is Shemayim. That Hashem controls everything. Then he focuses on three makros that were the most difficult, the most cruel, the most painful to the Mitzrayim. Barud, okay, so Barud, that's coming down. Dever, all the animals, and Svardeya. And the Ramban brings this a Zayin Ein Ches, Tilim Ein Ches, not just roll the minute of the Gruz to say different Yom, not just the Yoms of the day, but when Chag rolls around, or Chol Moed, different mizmer of the day. And Ayin Ches is like maybe the second day or maybe the second day of Pesach or the first day of Pesach, the Yom, and mentions killer frogs. But yeah, Hashchisosam, killer frogs. The Ramban says, frogs, killer frogs. Frogs, you don't see any other makos that there was any killing going on. Dumb, maybe no one died. Keenum, but killer frogs. And the Farshim kind of pick up on this and say that the frogs went in their stomachs, whether they went to the bathroom, whether they're eating bread. There's a Zohar for that. Okay, killer frogs, killer frogs. So that always kind of stuck a chord. Every year this rolls around. This killer frogs, TCU football team, the Horned Frogs or something, Toads or something. So never hopped what this. Okay, it killed them. It didn't kill them, and we know that. So that's kind of that. Now we have this situation where we have Moshe Davins to get rid of the frogs. He mentions Vaitzak Moshe Hashem al Devar Hatzvardeya Asher Sem Lepal. The Devar Hatzvardeya. So everyone always says, oh, Devar Hatzvardeya, the matter of the Tzvardeya. So Moshe has to daven. Power says get rid of them. They're all over the place. Moshe says, daven, cries to Hashem al Devar Hatzvardeya, in the matter of the Tzvardeya. I don't see anywhere else. Power says to Moshe, get rid of the blood. We don't see Moshe crying to get rid of the al devar hadam, al devar ha'oro, devar hakinim, just devar hatzvardeya. So the meor vshemesh has this huge chiddush that he pulls that a few different mamori chazal together. First of all, he pulls a tehillim. There's a yalkut that quotes this Zohar that when David was writing Tehillim, he was by the river and he's praising himself. Oh my gosh, I came up with those 150, 170 Tehillims. Look how great I am. He says to Hashem, who could sing these songs better than me? Who's praising Hashem more than me? And Hashem sends a frog, and the frog talks to David and says, us, we're praising Hashem day and night. The croaking that you hear, it's actually praising Hashem. So the Zohar says this is, and this puts David in his place. David says, okay, frogs. And the Tad Yahu goes further. It says, Sfardeya is Tzipor. It's not just frogs, but it's also birds that were part of Tzfardeya, perhaps. Tzipor, Tzfardeya. Tzipor with knowledge. Tzipors are able to fly. go close to Hashem, and Deya. They call to each other, they praise Hashem, they sing, Tzipur Deya. So we have this situation of frogs, of Devar, praising Hashem. And we know this Gemara, where Hanan Shobazaria, they know what to do. Nebuchadnezzar wants them to go into the fire, and they say, we have to go into the fire. We're not going to bow down, we're going to the fire. Learning the Kavachama from the frogs. The frogs who didn't have to go into the fire, they went to the fire. We are Mechliv to do Kiddush Hashem. We definitely have to go. And they go and they get saved. And they say, the frogs were saved, we'll get saved. And they get saved from the fire. So meor vshemesh says, besides the fact that they were singing and praising Hashem through the whole Makkah, the stomach, for sure, when they were Moshe Nefesh, going to the ovens and they weren't killed, they certainly were praising Hashem. And this is what Paro was saying to Moshe and Aaron. Get rid of these frogs. We can't take, not the fact that they were all over the place, or maybe killing people perhaps, but the fact that they were praising Hashem was a killer for Paro. This was bothering him more than anything. And Paro begs Moshe, these are killing me. Because we know Paro, he thought himself as a god. And more than that, he did not recognize Hashem. So there's this situation where this was really fighting in the face of Paro. He's able to recreate them, recreate Tzvardeya, but the fact that these frogs were croaking and going into the fire and not being killed by the oven and then croaking more, praising Hashem, this is what Paro couldn't take. And Moshe then has to daven to get rid of Dvar HaTzvardeya, meaning Moshe had to daven by Yitzhak, scream to Hashem to stop the Shira, the songs of the Tzvardeya. We know that when the sun stopped, the sun had to stop for the people to praise Hashem. The Malachim had to stop davening when the Jews were singing to Hashem and Kriyas Yam. So here too, Moshe davened for the Tzvardeya to stop singing Al Devar HaTzvardeya, and therefore the Jews could do this. And this, according to meor vshemesh, is pretty big chiddush. The fact that it wasn't Tzvardeya, it wasn't them going to the stomachs that made them, that made Paro just get so agitated, but it was the Dvar. When he sees that these frogs are singing and singing and singing, and perhaps giving the Jews chizuk. Oh my gosh, the frogs doing this. We should daven Hashem. We should praise Hashem. No matter what matzak we are, there's always going to be a geula. This perhaps was the thing that bothered Paro the most. Shabbat shalom.